knob ends like that to get the rest of us a bad name. Greetings and welcome, people. I think I kind of got it wrong. I had planned on coming up for a ride yesterday, which would have been Bank Holiday Monday. For our friends overseas, Bank Holiday here in the UK means public holiday. And we usually get one or sometimes two of those in the month of August. Low fuel warning light on, oh my word. But unfortunately I ran out of time yesterday, so I thought, okay, fair enough, I'll just go tomorrow, i.e. today, and sort of hoping that as people are back at work but the schools are still out, it might be fairly quiet. I suppose by some people's standards it is quiet, but there seemed to be a fair bit of traffic, more than I hoped there would be. But anyway, we're out and about, enjoying the ride, and I think I'm going to try and talk about something other than tyres or carburetors or brake discs or things that most of my last, I don't know, forever videos have been about. And I was sort of racking what's left of my poor old brain, thinking what subject could I possibly address on this ride. And then I saw Spicy 110's, not last video, the one before. And the subject matter on that was something that sparked a memory in my brain. He was talking about I think it was either a TikToker or a YouTuber or something, who apparently was quite confident that if you drop your crash helmet, or it suffers any sort of impact, I think he probably means specifically a drop, you don't have to get it replaced. In a very general sense. I haven't actually seen the video firsthand, but Spicy did play most of it in his video, under the fair use allowances, of course. And yeah, this guy was quite blatantly saying, if you drop your if you drop your crash helmet, you don't just have to go and get it replaced. Now, obviously, most people would appreciate that in the event of an accident, yes, you will end up most likely with broken bones and possibly internal injuries, which you will, in all likelihood, recover from. But if you're not wearing a crash helmet and you sustain a serious head injury, there is a very good chance that you could be left in a vegetative state for the rest of your life, or your life may be brought to an end. So wearing a crash helmet certainly in the UK and in many other places, is a legal requirement. And I was wearing a crash helmet even before it was made a legal requirement in the UK, simply because I didn't like getting my eyes and my mouth filled with stones and bugs and all sorts of things. I quite liked having my face protected from sharp things flying through the air. So even if they were to repeal the crash helmet law today, I would still wear a crash helmet because I think it is a good idea. But to say that a blanket opinion, if you drop your crash helmet you don't have to get it replaced, I think is very risky. Oh dear, you okay there, mate? Obviously the whole idea of the structure of the crash helmet is to absorb impact so that it doesn't get transmitted through to your skull. But if you dropped your helmet in such a way that it has sustained even micro fractures that may not be visible to the naked eye, I'm talking about in the outer shell here obviously, those micro fractures may concentrate impact forces later and cause the helmet to fail and possibly allow something to penetrate the crash helmet in the event of an accident. So yeah, I mean, do you want to gamble, really? I think is the crux of this issue. Obviously the structure of the crash helmet, like I say, is the outer plastic fiberglass or carbon fiber shell, but then of course it's got the inner impact absorbing layer, which is the EPS or expanded polystyrene layer, which is between the plastic shell and the comfort liner. Now obviously that can suffer in an impact as well, especially if your head is in it. It will do its job, it will absorb the impact by deforming and compressing. So if you are in any sort of accident where the helmet takes an impact, absolutely change it. But if you're walking along carrying your crash helmet in your hand and it just slips and lands on the ground when your head isn't in it or no heavy objects are in it, do you need to automatically get it changed? Well, that's a call only the individual should make. I really don't think it should be the place of one person to go online, put a video on the internet saying you don't have to change your crash helmet. Do you want to take the chance is what I would say. And obviously you can get some really cheap and nasty crash helmets out there, and those ones I would say if you drop it, yes, absolutely change it, because it's liable to be the cheapest thermoplastic going. But that did lead me on to one other consideration. This crash helmet that I'm wearing now, I've now had for 6 years, and I believe, I'm sure I've seen it somewhere, that general advice is once your crash helmet reaches 5 years, you should replace it. Now that might be a number that's been come up with by the helmet manufacturers to get you to replace your helmet more often than you would do otherwise, or more often than you actually have to. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of research starting now. I'm probably okay for another year or so into what I'm going to replace it with. Now the question is, do I get another one of these crash helmets, which would be quite a good idea, because that means I would be able to transfer the comm system from this helmet into the new one, or do I go for a different style of crash helmet, different make? I don't really want to go for a different style because I like the flip front style of crash helmet. But last year, I think it was, my daughter was planning on getting herself a electric scooter and wanted to take a CVT, so she went and bought herself a crash helmet, and she bought a Scorpion, which I quite like the look of. But of course, that being a completely different brand, even though it's the same style, highly unlikely to be able to fit the comm system from this helmet in it. In fact, almost certainly not. I think I'm going to stop here and transfer that camera onto that mount and get some forward facing video. I'm going to have to stop recording and change the view screen. There we go. Hope that's okay. Just straighten it up a bit. And start recording again. There we go. Quick beep for synchronization. And off we go. Oh, this looks like nicely recently laid road surface. Very nice. Not too recently, I hope. So yeah, some thought needs to be put into what I'm going to get. And now we've got back onto the old road surface now. Great. And I'll probably need to take a quick trip over to Helmet City over in Chichester to have a look, see what crash helmets they've got, see if they've got anything suitable, maybe on a deal, on sale. And you never know, if they have something, I might just pull the trigger and get it, because obviously you don't mess about with safety. Up. You're welcome. Don't mention it. Oh, you didn't. Obviously, I wasn't going to argue with him. It did strike me as rather odd of people to put videos like that on the internet, but then I suppose I really shouldn't be that surprised. But I just hope for that person's sake that somebody doesn't get hurt in an accident because they dropped a helmet and didn't replace it and suffered a head injury, that they don't come after that guy and say, well, you said. Of course, maybe I should go and look at the whole video and see whether he introed the video with a disclaimer saying, this is my opinion, I'm not saying this is what you should do. But you know what the internet's like, don't ya? I knew this was around here somewhere. It's probably spoiling those people's peace and quiet. Doing a bit of bird watching by the look of it. Nice. So I think I'm going to be quiet now, just get some more in-flight video. So I'll just say thanks very much for stopping by and taking a look. I trust you're all well, and I'll speak to you again on the next one. Cheerio for now. Bye.